Let me see how this works here. How is, you know what? I'm going to take my hat off. How's that light? Is that okay? Can you see me all right?
Yeah.
Good. What if I tilt sideways? Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Here, hold on here. Bingo.
All right.
Hold on, we got a little reflection. Hold on one sec. I'm just trying to get the. Oh, you there? Hold on here. I'm coming. Just trying to make sure I get the light right.
Yeah.
Sweet, we made it happen.
Yeah. All right, so I am with Ryan Dempster, and Ryan, I know that you were a pitcher for many different teams in the MLB. Who was one person that you feared pitching to?
Man, you're coming right out of the gate, Brock. I like it. Feared isn't necessarily a word I would use, because I think being in the big leagues, believing in yourself, you trust that you can get anybody out. Now, that being said, who was the most dangerous? I would say pretty Brusco. And this is in 2001, I believe it was. And I was getting ready to take the mound in the bottom of the first inning. And one of my teammates, Kevin Millar, host of one of the hosts of Intentional Talk, he says, he grabs me by the jersey and he says, "Hey, you better find out what you have against Barry Bonds. Go right after him." And I was like, at this point, everybody in the world was walking Barry Bonds all the time. And I was like, all right. So Barry came up to bat and I threw the first pitch right down the middle, like 94 miles an hour. And Barry stepped out of the batter's box. He started fixing his elbow guard. And he's like, looked at me like, "Oh, okay. You want to play? All right, let's play, young man." And then I threw another pitch. He fouled it off. And then I threw another one down the middle and he hit it off the very top wall in the right center field wall. And it ended up being a triple. I kept him in the ballpark, but he was dangerous. If you missed your spot, you're gonna end up giving up a ball a long way, which I did. So, but definitely not afraid of anybody, but definitely very weary of pitching that guy.
Yeah, this is one of my friends asked this. He wanted to know, what was your opinion on the Cubs and White Sox rivalry?
Yeah, I think it's a good rivalry for the city. Like you have a lot of Sox fans and you have a lot of Cubs fans, and so you got this north side, south side. It's great when both teams are really good. That bodes for a really fun series. Some of those teams that we had in 04, 05 with the Cubs, 07, 08 when the White Sox were still pretty decent. And now the White Sox are really good and the Cubs are struggling right now. But it's a fun rivalry. The fans are fun. It's entertaining. There's a lot of moments like that. Is it a true rivalry? I don't think so, just because of the fact that you only play them 6 times a year, but a ton of fun.
And I know the trade deadline is coming up very soon. What was it like in the clubhouse, like during trade deadline? Was it like, did you guys know what was going on, or did you guys listen to the trade rumors, and how did you make that not affect you when you guys are playing?
Yeah, it's hard. We're human beings out there, and guys have emotions and feelings. And for me, it was difficult because I love being a Chicago Cub. I didn't want to go play somewhere else, even if it meant having an opportunity to go somewhere and win a World Series. That's all fine and dandy, but I wanted to win a World Series as a Cub. So it's not easy, and you have to figure out ways to distract yourself, to do things away from baseball. Chris Bryant talked about it, last night, I believe it was. He said, do things like pick up the guitar, play some video games, have a bowl of ice cream and watch a movie. You just get away from baseball because it can consume you and you can worry about it all. And at the end of the day, you got control and things out of our control. And sometimes a trade is out of our control. I was lucky enough that I had a little bit of control and I got to pick where I wanted to go. So that's good, but it's not easy. You gotta focus and rely on your friends around you to keep picking you up and making you smile, and just go out there and play the game and do what you can do.
Yeah. This was from my grandpa. He wanted to ask, do you believe the National League should keep the DH?
No, I don't. I understand why they want to. Listen, it creates 15 new jobs, right? 15 new DHs positions for guys. Um, Pitchers don't, they're not required to, nor do they take the time to really work hard in the cage. Not all of them, some guys do, but on a general whole, it's not an area of concern for teams anymore. So, you know, guys who can help themselves at the bat, it just becomes less and less. And to be honest with you, it's if you're a team putting together an offense, it's better having a DH in there. But I love the game. I love the aspect of managing the game because you have to pinch hit or double switch, or you have to decide what pitcher might come in, or leaving a guy in to pitch an extra inning because he can get a bunt down, and those type of things. So I'm a traditionalist, but I also understand why they want to switch.
How was it like for your first game in the MLB? What was it like?
Oh man, first game in MLB, it was crazy. I warmed up like maybe 3 times before I actually went in. So my fourth time warming up, I uh, my fourth time warming up, I actually uh, game. It was against Pittsburgh, and I went in as a reliever, and I went in. I went to the game as a reliever, and it was nerve wracking, to go out there and kind of uh, taking it all in, trying to control the emotions. I remember everything around me kind of being quiet, and there wasn't a ton of fans because I was playing for the Marlins. We didn't have a lot of fans, but it just kind of had this hum, and this excitement is something I dreamt of doing my whole life as a kid. And I finally had the opportunity to go in the game, and I had a 1-2-3 inning. I had 2 strikeouts and a ground out to third base, or 2 ground out to third base and a strikeout. Sorry. And it was just so cool to just kind of, be a part of it all and realize you just accomplished your dream. And it was so special. I can remember, the feeling of it all still to this day.
Um, this was for my cousin. He had a couple questions. What was who was your funniest teammate out of all the teams that you played for, and what was one of the stories and stuff that he told you about?
Wow. Funniest teammates. A lot of funny teammates. Guys like Mark DeRosa were funny. Um, you know, Kerry Wood's closetly funny. Like, he just does, people don't know about it. It's kind of hidden, but he's got a really, really good sense of humor. Glendon Rush. Glendon Rush was really, really funny. And he always had this thing where he would call it Sheffield and Wavefield and Sheffland. So he would always say, "Man, you see that ball landed on Shefflin? That was a big homer." And guys would be like looking at him like, "No, it's Sheffield." And it was like he's casting a little like lure into a barrel full of fish, and he just always got guys. So, or he would call guys by the wrong names on purpose. Like if instead of calling you Brock, he'd call you Brian. Like, he would just do it just to get a rise out of people. And he was just one of the funniest guys, one of the best teammates you could ever have, and so much fun to be around.
Um, who was one of your most encouraging teammates?
Yeah, I had a lot of guys who were really encouraging. I think one of the best teammates I had for encouraging you and trying to get the best out of you was Ted Lilly. He always took the approach of, he wanted to be the best pitcher on the team, but not because you weren't very good. He wanted to be better than the best pitcher on the team, and he pushed you to try and get the most out of you, because in return that pushed him to get the best out of himself. And he was just a selfless teammate that way, and I just appreciated it so much. And after a tough game or even a good game, he'd pitch 8 innings and he'd be like, "I guess I got to go 9 tomorrow." And he was always like pushing, competing, and to me that was just so much fun to be around.
What's one of the most inspiring things a coach ever told you?
um One of the most inspiring things a coach ever told me, I'd say probably just you know a really good quote I got one time was, "Wherever you go, there you are." And what he meant by that was, doesn't don't think of any other moments around you. Where you are right now and where you are presently is the most important thing. And it's not, well, what play just happened or what might happen. It's about this moment right here. And if you can live in those moments when you're playing sports, we can do that in general in life. It's a really good thing. And in sports, it's probably the most important thing, because it allows you to clear your mechanism, your mind, and allow you to just go out there and focus, the task at hand, the present moment, and nothing else matters. And it doesn't matter if you're an all-star or you're the worst player in the league. It doesn't matter if you're 0 for 4 your last 40 or 40 for your last 40, or nothing matters. You just go out there and in that moment, just try to be present. I think it was really, really important advice.
This is a two-part question. What is the best weather condition to pitch in, and what's the hardest weather condition to pitch in?
Well, the best weather condition to pitch in is when the wind's blowing in about 50 miles an hour and it's cold. And then the hitters don't want to hit at all. But the worst one I think to pitch in is when you get like that raining. Although I grew up in Vancouver, outside of Vancouver, British Columbia, so most rainy days are like a good sunny day back home. So I kind of was used to it. And then you just pitch them whenever the wind's blowing straight out and you think you got a fly ball for an out to end the inning and it ends up in the basket or 10 rows deep. Not very much fun.
Yeah. Um, so I know that you have been in the booth with Boog and JD. How's it like there? And do you like starting to do broadcasting now that you are not playing in the MLB?
Yeah, I do. I love baseball. I mean, you can tell just talking with me. I really love the game. So it's fun to be able to talk about it. I really love working with JD. Boog, he's okay. We'll just give him that. He's just okay. But you know what? He's working really hard and we'll keep supporting him and we'll make sure he gets there. So one of these days he'll be a good play-by-play guy. Yeah, I have a ton of fun with those guys. And we're lucky we got a great network of people at Marquee, and we just really want to hands back home, experience game, learn a little bit.
And I think too, for you, your insights with you having experience pitching, I think that's very good too with being in the broadcast booth because you like understand what the pitchers are going through in some situations and stuff. And I've heard some of like what you were telling about with how they're pitching and stuff, and I think that's just very good for JD and Boog because for having another pitcher in the broadcast booth, they know what the pitcher's going through. I thought that was very good that they have that you're there to like kind of understand what the pitcher's going through at some moments in the game. I thought that was
Yeah,
really good.
thanks. Yeah, I feel like I can relate to any situation, right? Like I was a starter most of my career. I was a closer. I was an all-star. I sucked. Uh, I was a middle reliever. I was a setup guy. I kind of got to do a little bit of everything, and so I kind of can be in each one of those shoes and kind of get people watching to understand what maybe somebody's going through. Might not
Uh,
necessarily be what they're thinking on the moment, but I can at least share what I was thinking.
yeah, and um, did you ever like learn a pitch during your career? Like, did one of your teammates ever like teach you how to throw something different?
Yeah, I was really lucky, working with guys with fastballs and two-seam fastballs and learning how to kind of manipulate the ball and make it move and spin it and do those kind of things. But probably the biggest difference maker for my entire career was walking in the backfield at Hohokam Park in Arizona in spring training, and Fergie Jenkins showing me kind of a split changeup grip that he threw, and I threw it, and it ended up revolutionizing the second half of my career and being a pitch that helped me finally start to get lefties out on a consistent basis. So, leave it up to a nice friendly Canadian to hand that off to another Canadian.
And this one I had a question about. Let's see. Um, it was uh, what advice would you give someone that's young playing baseball, like to play in the majors? What's some advice that you would give a youngster?
Advice, that it's not going to be easy. All right. It's not supposed to be easy. If we want to make it easy for everyone, then everybody could do it. It's a very, very hard game. There's only 750 players. on any given day playing in the major leagues, right? In the entire world. It's a super small percentage. So it's supposed to be hard. So understand that it's going to be hard at times. You're going to fail. Baseball is built on failure. If you fail as a hitter 70% of the time, you go to the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to fail as a pitcher. Nobody's ever gone and had won every start they pitched every year. There's always room for improvement. So you're going to go through those ups and downs. Make adjustments. It's a game of adjustments. You have to make adjustments pitch by pitch, at bat to at bat, inning to inning, game to game, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. You got to change things in your career in order to have a longer career. So you got to make those adjustments, and make sure that it's always fun. Yeah, it's a job. Guys get paid to do it. But at the same time, when you're having fun and you're enjoying it and you're playing free like that, you're probably going to play your best baseball.
And then the final question is, what is your opinion on the foreign substance rules that the MLB has right now?
Yeah, I think that it's a good thing that they're trying to crack down on illegal substances on the baseball. I think that the game of baseball has always been this game of chess, right? Two teams, and teams have always tried to get an upper edge. Whether you see sign stealing incidences, not necessarily the one like Houston, but just guys at second base trying to figure out what pitch he's throwing. Is a guy tipping pitches? Guys scooting out of the batter's box just a little bit. Give me a little bit more, a little bit of an inch. Whatever it is, a catcher trying to take a pitch that's off the pitch away and they're trying to bring it back in and make it look like a strike. Those are all things they're trying to do to get that edge. I think the spider tack stuff was a little much, right? It's pretty sticky stuff. I can show you right here. Check this out. Oh, if I can get the top off. I don't even know if I can get the top off. Oh, holy cow. So this is the spot. I've got spider tack in here somewhere. Here we go. Okay, you ready? I don't think that should be allowed to be put on a baseball,
Yeah.
So, little sweat and rosin, cool. A little bit of sunscreen and rosin, cool. But, that's something that's definitely helping the performance of players. But we've seen that it's gone on for years and years, right? Performance enhancing drugs, cork and bats, all kinds of stuff. And it's just always the cat and mouse game. And I'm glad Major League Baseball is taking care of it.
All right. Well, I had a blast. Thank you so much. I had a really fun time talking to you, and hope to talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Brock, thanks for having me on. Shot and getting me and tying me down. I'm a hard man to find sometimes. Could be on the top of a mountain or floating on a river somewhere or chasing some kids around. But I'm glad I was able to sit down with you and see the next future generation of broadcasters out here doing their thing.
All right. Thank you.
You got it, dude. See ya, man.
See ya.